Yes, no, sorry, I can't, no one's responding on the chat.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, thanks. Okay. All right, so I'll go over this. Let me see. First, just a quick introduction. Like I said, it was the Google Forms that go out, and I appreciate a lot of you taking them. We were close to 150 to 175 consistently taking the quizzes. It was 5 each time, and it would give you the answer or give you a score out of 5. If you did get a question wrong, it would give you a reference to go look at. So it could be a case play, it could be in the rules, and then you could go look and see why you got it wrong. I think the majority of people took it without their books and probably found it a little harder than it was. And that's fine, nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to continue to do these quizzes. The purpose of them is to get into your books. All right, so if you want to take it blind and just go take them and see what you get. I talked to a referee today at my 3-on-3, and he did that. He took them and didn't do real well without the book, but it made you get into the book. Now, these questions are supposed to be hard. They're supposed to get you into the book and also have some situations where we know how to adjudicate them correctly by the rule. So that's the purpose of them. So again, I appreciate you guys doing it, but continue to dive in the book. It's a really weird year as it is. So don't expect you don't have some really weird plays that occur in your ball game. All right, so question 1. Again, I'm going to go through these and I'll give you the charts of how we did as a chapter, but this one is with 0.3 of a second remaining in the game and the score is tied. Ace-2 throw into Ace-4 is caught and released prior to the horn sounding. B2 fouls A4 in the successful attempt for a goal. The result of the play is, and I'll get this presentation to Diana and Marvin, and they can send it out, so you'll get a copy of this as well. So this is how we did as a chapter. 52% had it as A. Obviously, green is the right answer, and we'll go through it. And then 34% got it correct. But a lot of referees felt like we should count the basket. And I'll get into the rules here in a little bit. But that's how we scored is this one. The correct answer would be C and D. So that is do not count the goal and award A4 bonus free throws because team A is in the bonus situation. And then A4 is awarded a 1-on-1 free throw. If the first free throw is made, the game would be over. There's a case play on it, which is right here. If I, again, you have to write all this down, it'll come your way. So with 0.3 of a second left in the game, each team is in the bonus, blah, blah, blah. Again, I want to go through it pretty fast, but the purpose is the time. We need to understand that 0.3 on the clock, that's not enough time for a catch and a shoot. That's only going to be a tap. Well, in this play, they catch the ball, so it's not going to be a legal shot, but you don't then just forget about the foul. So since A5 may not control the ball and attempt to try with 0.3 of a second, A5 cannot score a goal and is not considered an act of shooting. However, B3's foul cannot be ignored and is considered a common foul. A5 is awarded a 1-on-1 bonus if they're 1-on-1 or double with the free throw lines cleared. And if they make the free throws, the game would be over. If not, you go to overtime. Again, any questions on these, feel free to put it in the chat. And if Diana or Marvin, you guys don't mind facilitating that for me.
We'll do it.
Thanks. Okay, question 2. This is a substitute number 25 for team A reports to the table and plays the entire second quarter. At halftime intermission, the official scorer informs officials that number 25 is not in the book. What is the penalty on this? So we did do pretty well on this, but I'm still 33, close to 34% believe that this is a technical foul. Now this has happened more than once. It's happened in my games. I've talked to a lot of referees. It does happen. So this is only going to be a technical foul if they re-enter the game. So if you come out at halftime and the table tells you, hey, number 25 is not in the book. Okay, we didn't catch it in the first half. We haven't made any changes to the book. The rule is you give a technical foul if you have to make any changes into the book that was before the 10-minute mark. We're not making any changes. You need to go to that coach and then tell them, Coach, 25 was not in the book. If you decide to play them in the second half, then it would be a technical foul. If they decide not to play them, then you don't have a technical foul on this. And there's no case, no rule in it, but I don't have an exact reference for you, but that's basically what it comes down to. The changes have to be made in the book in order to have a technical foul. And because we didn't catch it within the frame that they were on the floor and you go to intermission, That's how we handle that situation. Any questions on that one, Diana? Okay, so it says, what if you catch it in the first half? Yeah, so if you catch it, right? If you catch it, if they tell you in 25's in the game, then yeah, that's a technical foul.
Yeah.
The reason it's not a technical foul is based on because you find it during intermission. That's when you come out at halftime and the table tells you. And that's why I think a lot of people believe it's a technical foul based on they did play and that you did find it. And you're going to start, the game's still going, you're going to start the third quarter. But by rule, that's incorrect. Okay.
Yeah, no other questions.
Okay, cool. All right, question 3. A1 is driving to the basket and is fouled by B1. The try is successful and the lead official counts the goal. While administering the free throw, the new lead official states 2 shots when it should be 1, right? The try is unsuccessful and A3 obtains a rebound and scores on a putback. All other players remain motionless. What is the correct way to handle this situation? And this happens. It's happened in games where we have an M1, we don't communicate or for whatever reason, and then we say 2 shots. We as a referees have told the players 2 shots. That's what they're going off. And then they miss it. And then one player knows it's 1 shot, gets the rebound and puts it back, and nobody is moving. No one's playing. All right. So the correct answer is disallow the goal. But again, there was a lot of different, close to 57. So less than 50% got it right. The other, 54% wanted to score the goal. Resume play with an end line throw in. Some said disallow the goal, but give the ball to team B on the end line. So if we dive into, there's actual case play on this. All right. I want to go into, even though A and B refer to this one, I'd also like to get into C as well, because it still pertains to it, but it's a different outcome. So in this one is case play A861. A1 is about to attempt the first of a one-on-one free throw situation. The administrative official steps in and Roland C informs players 2 free throws will be taken. Exactly the same play that I put. A1's first attempt is unsuccessful. The missed free throw is rebounded. Let's just go with A first. B1, with all other players motionless in anticipation of another throw. In B, A2 with all the other players motionless of another throw, and then I won't get into C. I'm gonna go with those 2. So in A and B, it's the official's error. Clearly put one team at a disadvantage. But due to the fact that the players stood motionless and didn't attempt to rebound, that's a big part of this. Play should be ruled dead immediately and resume using the AP arrow, alternate possession procedure. Now in C, B2 with several players from both teams attempting to secure the rebound. The official now the officials recognize the error. This is different because you may have said 2 shots, but everybody didn't even go off your 2 shots. They weren't paying attention to you, and they just played like it should have. In C, both teams made an attempt to rebound despite the official's error and had equal opportunity to gain possession and rebound. Play will continue. So that would be that you would if you do catch it and you blow your whistle, then you're just going to go with point interruption, whoever had the ball. So if team B had the ball and you kill it, but they all were playing, then that team's going to get the basketball. If you don't blow the whistle, then you just continue to play. You may think in your head, oh my God, I think I said 2, but I didn't. You're just going to continue to play in that. So it really comes down to the official's error, and the parts to it is, what are the players doing? Are they motionless, or are they playing like it was just like they were supposed to? Okay. Any questions on that? No questions, Diane?
Let's see. No, not on this one.
Okay. And we can hold them to the end. That's no problem. All right. Question 4. A1 drives to the basket and is airborne as he or she releases a shot that enters the basket. Following the release of the ball, but prior to A1 landing back on the floor, still airborne shooter, there's contact between A1 and B3, who is in a legal guarding position. The ball goes in the basket. The trail official calls a blocking on B3, while the lead official simultaneously calls a player control foul on the airborne shooter A1. The result of this play is, we say this is a blarge. If you go look in the rule book, there's nothing that says blarge. It's just what we use because it's a block and a charge, and we merge the words together. The correct ruling is a double foul. That's what it is. It's a double foul. So I don't think anybody disagreed that it's a double foul. However, we had some confusion on what do we do? How do we resume this? So some people said player control foul, probably based on that it's Leeds primary and the defense was in legal guarding position. 10% said blocking foul. And then the two that were obviously the highest, right around 30, they're saying close to 40 people on each one, both said double foul, but the confusion was the basket, okay? A lot of referees hit me up and said, how can you have a made basket on a player control foul? It's not a player control foul. It's a double foul. A double foul does not constitute a player control foul. So on a double foul, we will go to point interruption. Let's just take a double foul that doesn't even involve a blarge, a double foul. You go to point interruption, okay? Well, the ball went in. That's your point interruption. So in this one, double foul, you score the basket and you resume play from the basket, team B gets the ball on the end line. If the ball did not go in, right? We have 0 team control on a shot, double foul, ball didn't go in, we go AP hour. We're gonna go alternate possession hour because there's no team control. So on a double foul blarge situation, the status of the ball is going to determine what you do. Ball goes in, it's going to go to the other team. Ball does not go in, we're going possession hour. We don't want these. Tell you, we don't want blarges, but they happen. By rule, this is what it is. It's a double foul. Make sure you pregame them. Make sure you're talking about every referee hold. We used to talk about outside referees hold. Every referee, even if it's secondary defender in the paint, it's Leeds primary. Make sure that you are holding as well to then avoid these. Have a preliminary signal, hold, communicate, and it will avoid all this stuff. Because as you can see, we don't know how to really get out of these situations based on our answers. So let's try to avoid them, but also get in your rule book so you know how to adjudicate these rules correctly. Any questions on that one? It was an interesting conversation on this one.
Marco, let me see. Marco put no free on the made basket. No free throw. Marco, can you elaborate on that, Ayala? Oh, no free throws. He said no free throws on the made basket.
Well, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's just saying note, there's no free throws, so that for interpretation for everybody, I guess.
Got you. Okay. So if it didn't go in, we're not going to shoot free throws. If it does go in, we're not going to shoot one. Yeah, we're not shooting. Yeah, we're not going to shoot free throws on that. Okay.
I think that's
I remember
it.
That's it on that one. Okay.
Robert, I'm not sure. Robert Mines asked a question. He says, so the ref putting the ball at disposal is a ref in position to make call.
I don't understand what that means.
I think that was from the last play.
Okay.
PJ's asking on double fouls, what happens if it's a pass and crash situation?
On double fouls, and we have the same thing. It's the same. So if we have a double foul in that situation on a pass and a crash, and we have to report both fouls. Unfortunately, that's just by rule. We have to do that. So if you have a pass and a crash, and one referee has a player control foul or team control foul, I'm sorry, and the other one has a block, then we have a double foul. It's the same. We have to report both fouls. I'm assuming you're talking about how we resume play.
Yeah.
That's actually a good question, because they would have team control. The team control is not, because it's not a shot, so it's a pass. So then we go double foul, point interruption. The team would keep the basketball. So if team A had the ball on a pass and a crash, we'd go double foul. Team A has not lost team control, so team A would get the ball at the spot of the foul. Is that your question, PJ? I'm assuming.
Yeah, he just asked what happens.
Okay.
So I think that covers it. That's it.
All right. Okay, so here it has it, and there is a case play on this. Again, a lot of people told me I was wrong, and I said I'm a case play. I said, okay, never mind. So the case play is, it talks about the exact, I'm not going to go over it, but it talks about if it's successful or not successful. Okay, and it says, even though an airborne shooter committed a charging foul, it's not a player control foul, because two fouls result in a double foul. So it's not a blarge, it's a double personal foul. So they're not considered that. So double foul does not cause the ball to become dead on a try. So the goal is scored if it goes in, and if it's not, it's point interruption. We went over that. So again, I'll get this to you so you can go check out the case play on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So two things I want to go over. Sure, no questions, because I want to talk about I saw something in the chat.
No, Bob just reiterated that it's point of interruption unless the pass is caught and shot before the crash.
Okay. Yeah, but point interruption is that there's no team control lost. Are we good on that?
I think so.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, I think so. Bob is saying unless they shoot it, they catch it and shoot it. Now we go AP arrow because when the whistle goes off, the ball's in flight. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point, Bob. Okay. All right. So backcourt situation. This is an interesting one. I didn't have time to write it down because I didn't know if we were going to fly through it, and we're flying through it. So the backcourt situation on a throw-in. This caused a nice little conversation we had for a few weeks. 993 is where we need to go to, and we need to understand that there's an exception on a throw-in on backcourt situations. If you go to that, again, I can add. I'll probably add it to this slide, and then once it gets sent out, you can go to it. But the situation is if Team A has the ball on a throw-in, and there's an exception for what offense can do. For example, if Team A has the ball in the front court on a sideline, and A1 throws it to A2, who jumps in the air from front court and either lands staggered, 1 foot, one in the front court, one in back court, or jumps and goes into the back court, that's an exception where it does not matter where they take off or where they land. Obviously, if the ball was live and we're coming up the floor, when I say live, I mean the ball is in play. The ball is in play, and we throw the ball up the floor. A1 throws to A2. A2 is already in the front court, and they jump from front court to back court. That's a backcourt violation. But the exception is on a throw-in. The throw-in is different. So what we had is a situation where if A1 is taking the ball out of bounds and throws it to A2, just to say it hits A2 in the head and goes into the backcourt. The discussion does that now constitute, it would be a backcourt violation if A2 or any team member from A goes and gets the basketball. We have a throw-in, we throw the ball, it hits team A2, hits them, they don't control it, it goes into the backcourt. Can they get it? A lot of people were saying that, yeah, that's backcourt because the throw-in is ended, it last touched them, and now it's last touch, first touch, but the exception still applies on a throw-in. The throw-in is what gives the exception to the offense. That's the key. The key one is it's to the offense, not to the defense, to the offense. So in this situation, it would not be a backcourt violation. However, if A1 throws the ball to A2 and B1 deflects it, so B1 gets get their hand on the ball, it deflects. Now it hits A2 in the head, goes into the backcourt. Now A2 or any team member from A cannot get the ball because the first touch was by whom? The defense. Now the throw-in has ended because it is legally touched, and the exception has now gone away from the offense based on that defense touched it. Now, some referees are saying, well, when it hit A2, the throw-in ended. You're correct. The throw-in has ended, but the exception still applies based on who touched it first, the offense. And it has it in the rule book and a case play, but it doesn't have the exact case play I'm giving you. That's where these are these weird situations where it happens, where you have to find a rule and another rule and then a case play, and you have to kind of commingle them together in order to make sense. This exact play, which I don't know why it doesn't, because this happens all the time. I was just at the game the other day, and they threw it in, hit the kid on the shoulder, he went back. There was no backcourt violation. The coach was asking for a backcourt court violation. The referee kind of gave him a hand signal, and they explained the rule. They were good. But we've got to be consistent on this, because I've seen a lot of plays where we do call backcourt violations, and it happens a lot. And I'm shocked there's no case play that expels out this exact play where it hits offense or hits defense. So again, I'll go over it one more time, just so everybody understands it, is on a throw-in, there's exceptions, which is 993, and that if you throw it into and it hits your same teammate, A1 throws it at A2, makes contact with A2, goes into backcourt. We don't have a backcourt violation if A2 or anybody from A retrieves the basketball. However, if it deflects off B1 or anybody from B, the throw-in has ended just like it did before, but the exception has now ended for the offensive team on the throw-in, and you would have a backcourt violation. If it hits B1, hits A2, goes into the backcourt, and A retrieves it, we have a backcourt violation. I'm sure you're going to be like, what on earth are you talking about, Mark? And we probably may have more discussion on this or questions. So, Diana, if we've got any, I'll go over it. But hopefully I try to clarify that as best as possible.
Somebody comment, does that rule still apply? It doesn't matter where the throw in, right? Because they're asking, does it apply if it's from the end line?
Correct. Yep. Good question. Absolutely. Doesn't matter if it's on the sideline. It doesn't matter. A lot of people say that because the ball is in the front court out of bounds, that they have front court status. It's on a throw-in. It doesn't matter if it's the sideline, either sideline, it's the end line, it's a throw-in. So it doesn't matter where the ball actual location is. If it's on a throw-in, then it applies no matter what. And it happens, right? We throw the ball, trying to throw it from the end line all the way into the backcourt. Same thing. It gets tapped and you never control it. It goes in, then you don't have a backcourt violation. Good question.
All right. Martha's asking, is there a way that we can get that? Is that written out somewhere so that people can actually read it rather than just hearing the explanation?
Yeah, there's no case play on it, but what I'll do is for this slide, I'll add 993. I'll add another case situation where I think is 993 situation E is on there. And then you're going to have to, like I said, piece two rules and a case play together in order for it to make sense. Because I talked to John Olson about it for a little while, and we went through it, and that's what we had to do. It's just one of those kind of weird ones where you have to do that. It doesn't spell it out perfectly for you. What I can probably do is even get, you know what? There's a link on, I'm going to do this, Diana. There's a link on a video that does a really good job of explaining it. I'll get that to you as well. But this happens a lot. So it's something we definitely as a chapter need to be consistent on.
Okay. So Michael says, so if A2 fumbles ball into backcourt, they can go get it. But if D, I assume that's B, if B touches ball first and touches off player in front court, it would be a violation if offense touches ball in backcourt.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Let's see. No professional team gets ball basket.
I got you, Martha. Okay. I did not ask him. Okay. Then yes, I can do that, Martha. Yep.
Can you read what James Gray wrote? I'm not sure. I'm double foul.
Okay. On a double foul after a shot, team B gets ball if made, basket, or team A keeps possession if missed. Okay. No. So you're talking about the double foul on a shot. If the ball goes in, team A is on offense and the ball goes in and we have a double foul, then the point of interruption would be the made basket, team B gets the ball. If the ball does not go in, then there's no team control. You go to the alternating possession arrow. So whoever has the arrow will keep the basketball.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Any other questions for Mark? Mark, thank you for bringing those up. I think the quizzes, as some people commented, are extremely helpful. I know they forced me to look up some things. So thank you for continuing to do those. I think it's really critical to everyone continuing to learn. Can you, Mark, real quick, touch base on, I've had some people ask about being rated evaluations. Can you touch base on that for everybody?
Hey, before we go there, can we just go back to the question that was asked from if it was from the other end line? The rule specifically says in the exception, it's in the front court.
Yeah, so we're talking about, Kenny. The ball's in the front court on the end line.
Yeah, that's what he mentioned, Kenny.
Oh, in the front. Okay, gotcha. My fault.
Yeah,
okay.
You're good. Okay, yeah, so two things. I did want to talk real quick just about Stripe Life. I'm going to get, it's the library that we've been doing with DDR, and it's really close to being done. What I'm probably going to do in this week is contact maybe 10 of you, and we're going to kind of test through it, but it's coming along. So I've had some people hit me up about it, but we'll get that out to you. And as far as the ranking, so I've had only 6 referees contact me wanting to get ranked. I've sent those officials to Marvin and said, hey, these referees wanted to get ranked this season. And then Marvin's going to try his best to get you guys in crews. That's the first thing. Now, if you want to get ranked, and this is a weird year, so I totally get it. Rankings won't start till December. That was, and may even be later than that based on how things are going. Definitely don't want the ranking to hurt you. That's not what the ranking's about. It's about growth and development and also holding you accountable as well. But we want you guys to be ready and be at your best and feel comfortable where you can get your highest score. So if you want to be ranked, just email me, text me, call me, whatever. And I have a list and I give that to Marvin, and Marvin tries to do what he can to get you in crews. The way that works is if he puts you in a crew, you won't know when you're being ranked. You have no idea. You're not supposed to know. Marvin will tell me, hey, this crew's working here. And then all I do after that game is contact the coach. I get the film, and then that film goes off to DDR, and then they rank you guys. I did talk to DDR. They're ready to go. They're ready like today to do it. And I told them just hold tight. We're not going to do anything to December. But obviously, I'm trying to give first opportunity to those that want to get ranked, who want to improve on their scores, or even some new referees that just joined us that don't have a score. I want to open it to you first, and then we'll start diving into those referees who are up to being ranked based on staying in good standings. So hopefully that, if you have any questions on ranking, I'm more than happy to answer, but you can probably hit me offline and don't do it here. Very transparent with what we're doing, but you can call me anytime and I'll let you know what's going on with that. Hope that helps, Diana.
That's great. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, I've had several officials who are new to our chapter, but not new to officiating, that have reached out about getting rated and ranked. Yeah, just email Mark. He'll get you set up and we'll get those taken care of. Okay. So patience again. I know it's a crazy year and we appreciate you continue to stay patient. All right. But just contact Mark and he'll get it taken care of. All right. Moving forward. Does anybody have any questions, comments, announcements, anything they would like to share with the chapter? Any other questions you may have come here with that have not been answered in this meeting? I'll give y'all a minute. Anyone? All right, it doesn't look like it, I guess. Anything at all? Everybody wants you to keep those quizzes coming, Mark.
Easier or harder?
Take it up a notch.
All right, will do.
All right.
Good luck.
Okay. All right. Last thing on the agenda is just to let you know about our December meeting. So we usually had a, oh, hold on a second. Let's see. Quick question on pregame. I've heard conflicting. We need to meet coaches that started not. Thought in PowerPoint said we need to meet with them. Yes. Yes. We have asked that instead of the meeting with the captains, that when you go to make sure books are all good, that I know what I've done is I've just said, Coach, can I speak to both of y'all? We stand 6 feet away each other, not all the way at half court, just a few feet away from the table. And I just, ask if they have any questions, any concerns. I mentioned that it might, if they have a question, it might take us a second to get to them, so we can put our mask on. I do also ask them each who their designated captains are, and that's it. That's what I've done. But we do want to definitely meet with them and just, answer any questions they may have, since we're not meeting with their captains, any concerns. Okay. So thank you, Stephen. All right. So the next meeting, we're not having a social, obviously, because of what's going on. So the board and I met today and voted to continue and have a December meeting. This meeting will be short, and what we're going to do is we're going to give giveaways. We've allotted $1,500 in prizes. So we'll give away a TV. We're going to give away gift cards. We'll give away all kinds of stuff. We're going to do random drawings through this whole wheel thing on Zoom here. So you can only win if you're at the meeting. So, should be fun, but we're going to give away a lot of stuff at the next meeting. Won't be a long meeting. We'll just cover some stuff that we need to, any changes, anything that we have to address, and then give away a bunch of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. We apologize that we can't have an actual social where we can all get together. But as you know, we've got to do what's best for the health and safety of everybody. And, but hopefully this will be a space where we can, have some camaraderie and giving away a bunch of stuff to people. So $1,500 in giveaways. You got to be at the meeting. Start at 4. I imagine it'll probably be no more than an hour and 15 minutes again. Okay. Any last questions? All right, next meeting again, Sunday, December 13th, 4 p.m., $1,500 in giveaways. Thank you guys for everything y'all are doing. Stay healthy, take care of each other. And Chris, do you want to adjourn?
All right, guys. Thank you for attending. Meeting been adjourned at 5:10 p.m.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.